All right. So this word is being spoken for each one. Infinite mind knows all. And this infinite mind, in knowing itself, is creating everything that is. It is creating this life and peopling it with human beings for the purpose of living itself in a form that can decide to know about itself or not. And so this life that is divine, that is being expressed in, through, and as each one, is right now fully present and standing at the threshold of each one's awareness for each one to choose how much of this divine, loving, universal presence that they will allow in, express, and be this day. And so each one is choosing. Each one has the complete freedom to choose, to express as much of this divine that he or she desires to express. It is totally controlled by the decision that each one makes. And right now, each one is with using this freedom to choose to know and express that presence of divine love and joy, to realize that there is a oneness, a unity of all, and that each one is uniquely expressing it in this human realm. Each one has that clarity to express these divine qualities in a unique and specific way, which is the life of each one. And so right now, infinite mind knowing all and knowing the desire in each one's heart is now rushing in to the awareness of each one with its enlightenment, its inspiration, its wisdom, with its clarity, moving in to the awareness of each one so that each one is so filled with an awareness of the presence of the divine, of love, joy, and of oneness, that each one is relaxed and comfortable and filled with a very real sense of belonging, of being a part of all this great and glorious life. And so each one is now receiving the wisdom and the guidance that supports him or herself in being a greater expression of what each one has been uniquely created to be. And this greater expression is also done with freedom and love and with joy. And the actual expression is done in harmony and in balance. And each one is experiencing the successful operation of the divine in perfect right order and divine right action. And so each one is now focused on that indwelling presence and realizing that that experience of the indwelling presence that each one is having is uniquely theirs, unlike anyone else's experience, and that this loving presence cares about him or herself, and that each one is loved, lovable, and loving, that this divine is smiling upon each one and gifting to each one all of its blessings, all of its support, and all of its power, so that all of heaven and earth shall be moved for the greater good of each one, because the greater good of each one is a part of the greater good of all. And so right now, each one is centered and focused in this one, this loving presence, and is filled with the joy of knowing that all is well, that there is a way forward, that there is an answer, that there is a solution, that there is a future of happiness, of joy, and of delight, and that this is real, that all that is felt in the heart is just the promise of the good that is yet to come. And each one, in accepting that which is present within the heart, is now also allowing that loving law to move through each one and create this wonderful life. All of the good that each one has right now present within themselves, each one is aware of it and feels tremendous gratitude and thanksgiving for it. And upon this foundation of good, whatever it is, however much it may be, an abundance of good follows. And so each one moves from good to greater good with peace and with ease and with joy. And all of this does take place in an experience and a condition of health, because in all of the support that life is bringing to its creation, it also is bringing all of the intelligence along with the law of actually producing a vehicle, a body that is healthy, that is a body that is able to be a fit vehicle for expressing all of the divine qualities that each one has chosen to express. And this health is whole, complete, perfect. It is physical health as well as spiritual, mental, and emotional. It is also a health of being at one with the environment, the world, and with humanity. And so there is peace and serenity now within each one. It is the consciousness of love, of joy, and of peace that is divinely present within each one. And in this awareness, each one is experiencing this consciousness of love and peace and joy as their own consciousness of life. And with this consciousness, each one goes forth and engages in the wonderful activity of living, of being a part of this life and of enjoying this life in greater and more wonderful ways than ever before. Whatever anyone desires right now, this infinite mind knows, and this infinitely powerful law is now directed to make it so, to fulfill these desires in a particular way that one might have in mind, its equivalent or better. And each one is therefore fully engaged in the business of living with a consciousness of the highest awareness of that which is truth, and therefore going forth in an experience of freedom, of grace, and of ease, and seeing the manifestation of this wonderful consciousness successfully creating a life that each one loves completely. I am grateful for this truth. I release this word now to the law, grateful it is so, and so it is.